You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, when not to ride like an asshole and get penalized 30 seconds. You got to get your point and say, I'll get you at Austin. That's where I'm undefeated and I'll make up the points. Anyway, this is BT with the BT Argentina review. Trust me, this is my third time doing this review because it's long and I'm trying to find some funny out of this and keep it under 10 minutes because I know nobody wants to hear me talk for 10 minutes. I don't want to hear me talk more than 10 minutes, but we got to get down to it. So let's get down to it. And the thing about all this BS that makes me upset is we're not talking about the race. We're doing Alex Rins, Jack Miller, Cal Crutchlow, and Johan Taichu Zarco. We're doing those guys a disservice because they had a great race. If there was no Rossi, if there was no Marquez, and I was watching this race at home and didn't know, I'd be like, this is a good-ass race, which it was. Give those guys props. Crutchlow did what I thought he was going to do. He waited, and he pounced when he was supposed to pounce, and I thought it was beautiful. He ran a great race. Alex Rins showed why. Suzuki, don't tell nobody. Suzuki signed Rins for another 2 years. Just our secret. Okay, and Jack Miller, I think that's good for Aussies. It's good for Ducati, and I think Jack Miller's going to get that other dude. I think he's going to get the Ducati seat next year. Personally, I think Miller is going to go with. I think he's going to get the Ducati seat that Jorge Lorenzo. I think Lorenzo is going to leave. By the way, anybody see Lorenzo this weekend at all? That's hard to watch. It really is. I don't even want to make a joke about it, but they should send a search party to look for Lorenzo, basically mentally. Seriously, this is my impersonation of Lorenzo on the plane coming back from Argentina. Hey, Lorenzo, you good? What happened this weekend? Lorenzo, are you good? What happened to the bike? Quit doing that. He's in a straitjacket right now. Honestly, I feel bad for the guy. Hopefully he'll turn it around, but I really think he should just go to Suzuki, get it right back again, and be in the title hunt. It's not good with Lorenzo's not in there. Anyway, let's get to the BS. On the starting grid, people complain about the starting grid. Remember, if you're American, your parents always said, hey, what they always say, hey, if they jump off a building, would you jump too? Well, Mom, if the pole sitter was sitting on a pole with slicks on and the track was drying out and everybody else was putting on slicks, guess what? I'm going to put on slicks. Hey, when the entire grid leaves and goes to put on slicks, you can't just like start the race in 5 minutes. You can't do that. I found nothing wrong with what they did. They did what they had to do. They postponed the race. They got it right, which they did. I just thought it was funny how Jack Miller was like, where'd everybody go? If he was using drugs, he would have been, this is the worst trip I've ever been on. I mean, they're all in the back waiting for him. I thought that was beautiful. But I found nothing wrong with that. But here's where it gets tricky. All right, let's talk about the BS, okay? Now, I've never seen anybody ever. Now, he started the bike up. Marquez started the bike up, which is great. But it was funny to watch Maverick Vinales go, what the hell's going on there? To watch Vinales go, what the hell? And he went the wrong way on the racetrack. I've seen some crazy things on the racetrack. I've seen a dog. I've seen fog. I've seen a dog. I've seen fog. That sounds like a country song. Anyway, I've never seen a 5-time world champion go the wrong way on a racetrack. Granted, it was a start, but to go, I've never seen that before. And anyway, he got black flag. And like, if you watch my Moto3 review, he should have did like Jorge Martin. Started from the grid. They should, right? He did a ride-through penalty. You were 5 seconds faster than anybody else on the track. Take your time. You would have gotten the points. He still finished 5th. He would have finished 5th if he wouldn't have been an asshole to those people. But think about it, here's where it gets tricky. He's always been an asshole on racetracks. Watch it from 125. Remember 125s? I do. From his 125 days, he's always been the same. He's run over people. He's crashed. He's been reckless, but he's always been the same. I mean, I agree with a lot of what Rossi said. I really do. But then again, though, Rossi kind of did the same thing. Sete Gibernau. Remember Lorenzo. Listen, to be the best with what those guys are, they are the pinnacle of success, all right? You got to go where other people aren't willing to go, and those guys do that. Rossi's 2009 pass of Lorenzo at Catalonia, one of the greatest races ever. Not too many people would have made that pass against Lorenzo on the last lap the way he did, where no bike has ever gone, but Rossi did that. You got to be willing to do that. Rossi and Marquez are, and that's why they're where they're at in the racing game. Only thing I say is Emilio Alzamora has to calm Marquez down. He's the one that Marquez listened to. He's a champion himself in motorcycle racing. He's the one that has to go, hey, Mark, hey, man, you can't do this shit no more. you got to calm down. But he got to bring it back just enough where he doesn't run over people, but he still got that edge. He still wants to be the best. And that is tricky. It's like anything else in life. The best are the best because they're willing to do things you aren't willing to do. And that's why they're multiple world champions. That's going to be the interesting part. I love when they go to pit lane and go, Simon, what do you got in there? And Simon's like, well, what I think is I'm talking to my friend Jack Miller. What? I'm talking to my friend Jack Miller. I love Simon. He's getting better, but that's what it's like listening to Simon. I had to get that impression in. Anyway, should Marquez have gotten black flag? No, he shouldn't have got black flag. Let me tell you 2 reasons. One, and this is it, and I'm gonna say it right now. It's an asshole move of me to say it. He's with Repsol Honda. You don't black flag a Repsol Honda rider. You know how much they got to do to get black flag. And in their defense, if you would have said we're gonna black flag Marquez, Repsol would have came back and said, "Oh, really? What about what Zarco did to 6th grade Danny?" I call him 6th grade Danny because Danny's about the size of your average 6th grader. But hey, what about what you did to 6th grade Danny? Danny didn't finish the race because Zarco booted him. And I remember this, Rossi saying, and I quote, "Hey, this is a Moto 2. Remember he got pissed off at Zarco from 2 races last year? From I think it was I know it was Qatar. No, it was Argentina, and it was Austin. He was prickly in Austin. He said, "This is the Moto 2. This ain't how we race in MotoGP." And Zarco is still racing the same. So they've all done things like this, and they've all kind of been the same. Marquez is a little more reckless than all of them are. I know, and that's why I did this review later, because I wanted the emotions to kind of die down, because it's easy after the race to go, "Oh, let me give you this review." Okay, I've calmed down. I've watched many reviews. I liked how Marquez went to go apologize. People get mad at Uccio. Hey, Uccio, now they say Rossi should have went out in front. I kind of think so too, but maybe Rossi was just so irate that he goes, you know what, if I go out there, I'm going to choke him. So I'm just going to be like, tell my boy, hey man, go tell him, get the hell out of my face. I have no problem with that. If it saved him looking bad, because GP is not NASCAR. Okay, MotoGP is NASCAR. And so, in some ways I'm glad, but in some ways I kind of wish it was. But I'm kind of glad it's not. You don't need that. But here's where it gets tricky, okay? And what I want, and if you guys want to hear a really good review, read Manuel Pacino's review of what happened. He says it's perfect, okay? Luckily, the next race is going to be in Austin. The Americans aren't as hell-bent over racing as it is in Europe. So that's going to be the saving grace. It's going to be the buffer zone, okay? Hopefully, it's going to be a nice, clean race in Austin. A nice, clean race and nothing bad happens. But you won't have irate fan groups. You won't have Rossi's people or Marquez's people coming together, and that could get ugly. In Europe, in the summer, oh my God, I think really at the Spanish tracks, especially at the Italian tracks, this could get ugly. So Marquez being penalized 30 seconds, I got no problem with that. You give him a point. One of those penalty points. If he gets another one, you start from the back of the grid. There's nothing wrong with that. Keep penalizing him like that. Keep giving him penalty points and time-wise. 30-second penalty, he got no points. He wants to win the championship. He's going to realize, I better change or I'm going to keep getting these donuts, and I don't like to eat donuts. I like to eat these for victories. So, listen, we all have our point of view. That's my point of view. Should he got penalized? Yes. Is he racing any worse than anybody else or overly aggressive with anybody else? Like I said, watch Alicia Spargo. Alicia Spargo said, Marquez has always raced like that. How about what Petrucci has done to me? Go to Alicia Spargo's Instagram page. There's a picture of Petrucci hitting him. And he's like, hey, Marquez got penalized. I got no problem with that. But no one's talking about Petrucci hitting me. And that's the truth. When you watch MotoGP.com, right, we all watch Rossi, Marquez, or whoever's in the lead group, okay? We never watch, and I'm not casting shade, we never watch Redding, we never watch Rabat, because, no offense, it is what it is. And that's just true. We don't watch the best, we don't watch the leaders, okay? Him getting penalized, I got no problem with that. I got no problem with the way it is right now. I really don't. Well, Emilio Alzamora has to take Marquez, put his hand over his shoulder, take him out for a nice little meal, maybe give him some wine. He's young. I don't know. Give him some Red Bull. I don't know. Whatever. No, wait. The last thing he needs is Red Bull. Just settle him down and go, listen, Mark, you can't be like that. But you got to rein him in only so much. I just hope this doesn't get nasty. But Marquez has to scale it back a little bit or just keep penalizing. But you can't black flag him. You really can't. Because like I said, if you do, then they come back and say, look what Zarco did. Zarco gets the same criticism. He really does. It's a tough call to make, but that's my assessment of the whole situation. Was it ugly? I thought it was a great race. Like I said, we're getting away from what Crutchlow did, which is race a beautiful. They gave us a great race. Crutchlow. Did you see Ren smoke that tire? Oh my God! It was turn 11 where he smoked the tire. That was orgasmic. I'm talking. Beep. That was great. Anyway, great racing. I'm sorry we had to overshadow with all that bullshit I just talked about for the last 5 minutes. Like I said, just keep penalizing Marquez. You can't black flag him. Penalize him, take points away from him, and trust me, he'll get the point or else. Anyway, I really think Zarco's going to go to KTM next year. I really think so. I don't think a Repsol Honda bike is going to be his forte, but you never know. You never know. Props to Kyle Crutchlow. Riders of the race. Riders of the race. Moto 3, give it up to Bezzecchi. But I say Jorge Martin. Watch out for him. Riders of the race. Moto 2, I would say old man Passini, but I got to get up to Xavi Vierge. Xavi Vierge ran a great race, almost high-sided, got a podium. Watch out for Xavi. In MotoGP, you got to Cal Crutchlow. Cal Crutchlow gets rider of the race. Great race by Crutchlow, and Britt is leading the championships. Great job, Britt. Anyway, that's my take on it. If you guys want to criticize me, go ahead. That's what I'm here for. Thanks for listening more than anything. Until then, you know the word.